Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my videos. On this video there's quite a few things to negotiate about. I'm going to be giving you an update on some more transfer news, keep you up to date of what players are linked with Manchester United like I do on a regular basis. So anyway, I'm going to be giving you some latest news regarding Nathan Ake from Bournemouth. Then I'm going to be giving you some latest news on Adama Traoré from Wolves. And a bit later on in the video, there's other things to negotiate about. So the news is on Nathan Ake is that reportedly, after our 5-2 win against Bournemouth recently, at full time, Ole Gunnar Solsjaker had a conversation with Nathan Ake. And it's actually said that Solskjaer allegedly has come out and said to Nathan Ake that we need a left-footed centre-half. And some Manchester United fans are now convinced that, we're after Nathan Ake. Now, Nathan Ake is predominantly a centre-half. He can also play as a full-back and he can also play as a holding midfielder. Now, this has been Nathan Ake's third season with Bournemouth. I think he has made around 100 appearances for Bournemouth in the Premier League. I think he's still got around 2 years left on his contract with Bournemouth. Bournemouth did pay around £20 million for him from Chelsea. I think, by the way, Chelsea did insert a buyback clause on his contract because Nathan Ake did begin his career with Chelsea. And then obviously, he had loan spells with Reading and Watford. He is only at the age of 25. So would you take Nathan Ake at Manchester United? We are in search for a centre-half. Of course, we did get Harry Maguire last summer from Leicester for £80 million. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world. And he is, the second most expensive signing at the football club. Of course, we've also got Victor Lindelof. We got him back in 2017 under Jose Mourinho. We paid £30 million for Victor Lindelof. And like I said, Lindelof struggled for that consistency in his first season. But I think last season, this season, a lot of aspects of his game have really improved. But Lindelof is still enjoying some bad games as a Manchester United player. Of course, we've got Eric Bailly. There's obviously, been stories about Eric Bailly, going out on loan because, Bailly is one of our backup centre-halves. This has now been Bailly's fourth season with Manchester United. We paid £30 million in from Villarreal back in 2016. It actually, was Jose Mourinho's first signing. He's only scored one goal for the football club, but my only element of concern about Bailly is that he's very injury prone. I think there were stories recently saying that, he could go back to Spain and go out on loan with Valencia. Obviously, before he was with us, Bailly, he was at Villarreal. And before he was at Villarreal, he was at Espanyol. We've also got Tuanzebe that can play as a centre-half. We've also got Phil Jones. He's another centre-half we've got. But I think he's one of the players that's going to leave Manchester United in the summer transfer window. I think we've said one around 15 million for Phil Jones. This has been now Phil Jones' 9th season at the football club. He has been here since the Alex Ferguson era. And also to Smalling, he's out on loan with Roma. He's going to be staying at Roma for the remainder of the season because recently Roma had extended his loan until the end of the season. But, we won't take him back at Man United, so we're going to look to get rid of Smalling on a permanent transfer. Rojo, we're going to also look to get rid of him on a permanent transfer because he's out on loan at Estudiantes at the moment. So, yeah. So we are looking to get a centre-half in. And, there has been a lot of centre-halves on our agenda. There's still stories coming out regarding Kalidou Koulibaly from Napoli. So anyway, that's the latest news on Nathan Ake. Solskjaer has had a conversation with the player. Now, let's delve into the news on Adama Traoré from Wolves. So, reportedly, we have expressed an interest in Adama Traoré. These stories are actually stemming from Duncan Castles, and Duncan Castles tends to be close to Manchester United. Now, reportedly, Wolves do want around £90 million for Adama Traoré. He can play as a winner and he can also play as a wing-back in Adama Traoré. We're basically, seeing him as an alternative to Jadon Sancho. he's actually no cheaper solution than Jadon Sancho. So would you take Adama Traoré at Manchester United? Of course, he's well proven in the Premier League. I think this has been now his second season with Wolves. Wolves did sign Adama Traoré from Middlesbrough. I think they paid around £18 million for him. I think it was around £18 million. And he signed a 5-year deal with Wolves when he signed. So he has got a contract with Wolves until 2023 as the player. But he's done very, very well for Wolves. That's an admission I've got to make. I think he's only the age of 24, so still very, very young. I think he's actually now been one of Liverpool's priority targets. I think his Wolves like the fourth club in his playing career because, like I said, before he was at Wolves, he was at Middlesbrough. Before he was at Middlesbrough, he was at Aston Villa. And before he was at Aston Villa, he was at Barcelona. He began his footballing career at Barcelona. So we are seeing Adama Traoré as an alternative to Jadon Sancho, but we have looked at quite a few alternatives to Jadon Sancho. In recent weeks we've been in for Figo Almeida. Said weeks ago as well we was interested in Rabbi Matondo from Schalke, but I will make the admission, these cheaper solutions than Jadon Sancho. So but the news anyway on Jadon Sancho because I have been keeping you up to date of what's been going on with him on a regular basis, Jadon Sancho. Of course, Borussia Dortmund have set their deadline for Sancho and they've basically said of Borussia Dortmund, we must get a deal finalised for Jadon Sancho by the end of this month or they are not willing to sell the player. Jadon Sancho did say he could put a transfer request in if Borussia Dortmund refused to let him come to Manchester United. Now, like I said recently, Ian McGarry, he's a transfer expert. He came out and said that Jadon Sancho has agreed personal terms with Manchester United and it says he has agreed a 5-year contract with the football club worth around £140,000 a week. But no fee has yet come to an agreement. It's Borussia Dortmund's asking price that seems to be the stumbling block. Because I think Borussia Dortmund have said that they do want around £108 million. It recently said that Borussia Dortmund value Jadon Sancho at around £115 million. But we have said on several occasions we are not willing to smash our transfer record for Sancho. Recent stories said that we're only willing to pay £50 million for the player. There's no way we're going to get Jadon Sancho for £50 million. We're not going to get Jadon Sancho for £50 million. But don't forget, back in February, which was of course earlier on this year, it said that Jadon Sancho had agreed almost every little detail of a move to Manchester United. It did say that everything had been agreed except the fee. Also, too, Duncan Castles was recently talking about the Jadon Sancho transfer saga. You've had Fabrizio Romano, who's a very reliable Italian journalist. He's spoken about the Jadon Sancho transfer saga quite a few times because he did reveal a while back that we have been in negotiations with Sancho's agent for quite some time and we've also been working on his contract. But I've outlined the reasons why I take Jadon Sancho at Manchester United because he dramatically improves us. He's predominantly a right winger and we're in search for the right winner. Plus, he's got a very, very good friendship with Marcus Rashford and that. And I think he'd complement our attacking line really, really well. You'll get some United fans now saying, we don't need Jadon Sancho. Reflecting on how good Mason Greenwood is doing. Mason Greenwood is in scintillating form. He scored twice against Bournemouth recently. He also scored in the 3-0 win against Brighton. And I think now Mason Greenwood's got 15 goals this season for Man United. That's very, very impressive. And I think it's definitely the foreseeable future for the football club. But it's good recently that Mason Greenwood's been getting starts because earlier on in the season, the vast majority of his appearances were coming from that substitutes bench. Don't forget, Ole Gunnar Solsjaker did say recently that Mason Greenwood's a better finisher than Rooney was at the same age. He's also said, like he updated this morning, that Mason Greenwood is ready to play for England at senior level. And he's only the age of, 18 or 19 in that. But we are still looking to get Sancho because I think he's still our number one priority target. We first expressed our interest in Sancho in 2017. I do believe we're only the team that are now in for Sancho anyway, because I think Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool's distanced himself away from Sancho. Pep Guardiola at City, he's distanced himself away from Sancho. There were stories coming out quite a few weeks ago saying that Sancho's willing to make a return to Man City because we've been struggling to meet Borussia Dortmund's asking price. He won't go back to Manchester City. Sancho is a former Manchester City player. He did endure 2 years at Manchester City, but the main explanation why he left Manchester City is because he did not get any first-team opportunities at City. City sold Sancho for just £8 million. Now Sancho's into his third season with Borussia Dortmund, but since his arrival in Germany, he has been a revelation. And analysing his performances, his valuation has persistently grown. Sancho's got a contract with Borussia Dortmund until 2022. You had the Borussia Dortmund CEO. He came out last month and said that he expects Jadon Sancho to stay because he's very convinced that no club's willing to meet their valuation. But then you had Lucien Favre, the Borussia Dortmund boss. He came out and said that Sancho could still leave Borussia Dortmund in the summer transfer window. But yeah, he has had a long-running transfer saga as Jadon Sancho. We've already made a promise to him, don't forget. We said that we are willing to offer him the number 7 because we have got number 7 vacant at the moment. We've had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations. Like I said to you before, Borussia Dortmund are known as a selling football club because they have let quite a few of their players go, especially to the Premier League in recent years, and there's also players that they've let go who didn't go to the Premier League. So yeah. So the news already on Jadon Sancho. Also, Grealish, you already know the news on him. He's another one of our priority targets as well as Jack Grealish. Obviously, this morning I give you the news, didn't I, on Nemanja Matic. Damasio has confirmed that Nemanja Matic has signed a new 3-year contract at Manchester United. So he's going to be at the club now until the summer of 2023. Matic did. We did recently extend Matic's contract by a further 12 months. So his current contract was due to expire in the summer of 2021. But reflecting on his good performances, Matic has been given a 3-year deal by Manchester United. And he deserves it because I think Matic has enjoyed an exceptional season for us. He's done really, really well. Don't forget, earlier on in the season, Matic was behind the likes of Fred, McTominay and Pereira. But I've got to say, Matic has become an integral part of the team. I think Matic for us has made... he's made around, 114 appearances for the club or something like that. We got him from Chelsea in 2017. We paid around £40 million for him. And at one point, it was looking very, very imminent that Matic was going to be leaving the football club. But, it's a lot of aspects of his game have really, really improved. And Matic is in his early 30s, I think. Matic was also pretty good at Chelsea. Don't forget, he won 2 Premier League titles at Chelsea. He was also good at Benfica when he was younger. So yeah, he signed a 3-year deal that I think got confirmed yesterday. But to be fair, a lot of players' contracts have been extended since Ole Gunnar Solsjaker came into the club. But we're still facing a bit of a dilemma regarding the contracts though, because we've still got 6, 7, 8 players' contracts that are due to expire next year and all of that. Like I said to you, your preview for the Aston Villa game will be coming up very, very soon. It should be tomorrow, the preview for the Aston Villa game. But yeah, and we are in a really, really good vein of form now. We are unbeaten in our last 16 games in all competitions, and this is our best vein of form since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the interim manager. I think we actually are unbeaten in our last 9 Premier League games. Our last defeat was 2-0 at home to Burnley, and that was back in January in that. But we are in a good vein of form, and it's really, really good to see because a lot of aspects of our game have really, really improved. We are scoring more goals, we are creating more chances, players have improved a lot. We defensively also look better. And, we've got now 5 games remaining in the Premier League. Just 5 games remaining. And I think in reality, we should win at least 4 of our 5 remaining games. Or probably win all of our remaining fixtures. Don't forget, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer recently challenged us to go unbeaten for the remainder of the season. I think, Manchester United are capable of doing this. A lot of Manchester United fans have said, we have got an easy run in. And I said, we've got an easy run in. But Solskjaer, said totally contrast in his press conference before the Bournemouth game. He said we haven't got an easy run in because he said we've got points to prove against the teams that we struggled against earlier on in the season. Because don't forget, our next game is Aston Villa. We drew with them earlier on in the season 2-2. Southampton's coming up. We drew with them early on in the season. West Ham's coming up. We drew with them. We lost to them, early on in the season. Palace is coming up. We lost to them earlier on in the season. So, we have got points to prove, so I can see. So I can see, where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming from there. I really, really can. But like I said, I'm very, very convinced that we can get qualification for the Champions League for next season. Solskjaer was recently talking about, the importance of Champions League football, because we do need it. Obviously, we're 2 points behind top 4 at the moment, but we are just 3 points behind third place. And Solskjaer recently was targeting a third place finish. Like I said, we've got a chance of winning 2 trophies as well this season under Solskjaer. We can, win the FA Cup, we're in to the semi-finals of the FA Cup, and we also, can win the Europa League. We're more or less into the quarterfinals of the Europa League because we are 5-0 up against Lask from the first leg. So if we could win, the FA Cup and the Europa League and, get qualification for the Champions League, that would be absolutely exceptional. It really, really would. And it would be a memorable first full season for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Manchester United. But Solskjaer does believe the battle for the top 4 will go down to the wire, because he did say not too long ago that there's around 6 or 7 teams battling it out for 3rd and 4th. This is, what he had said. But it's going to be interesting to see, like I said, how we approach the summer transfer window. Like I said, the summer transfer window will be Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Manchester United manager. Of course, so far Solskjaer's enjoyed 3 transfer windows at the football club, and in the 2 previous windows he spent just over £200 million. Last summer he bought Daniel James, Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. And in January, he bought Bruno Fernandes and Odion Ighalo into the football club. And I've got to say, our recruitment has really, really improved since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in. Because for several years, our recruitment policy, has been very, very poor. We've obviously, overpaid for players in recent years, so we've also been criticised for that. But, Solskjaer's already confirmed our transfer expectations for the summer. And he did say, we have got to make 1 or 2 good decisions in the summer transfer window if we are to compete with the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool. So I think Solskjaer says, we probably need at least 2 signings, to be title challengers next season. I think, we probably need around 2 or 3 signings, if we are to be up there next season. And Solskjaer's already identified the areas in the squad where he does want to strengthen up. Because I did say, didn't I, our expectations next season will be to challenge for the Premier League title. Because, this has been now the 7th season we've failed to mount any kind of title challenge up. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, so the last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season. We are the most successful team in England because we have won 20 titles, 13 of them Premier League titles in that. But I said to you this morning, didn't I? I'm very, very convinced that we can win a title under Solskjaer. Of course, if we can, it will be our 21st title in total. But yeah, I'm very, very convinced that, we can be up there next season. Solskjaer has now been at Manchester United for 18 months. So he's been at the football club for a year and a half. I think he's been permanent Manchester United manager for around 15 months. But definitely Solskjaer will be at Manchester United next season, even if we weren't to get qualification for the Champions League. Because like I said, it is a transition period and it has been a transition period for a while. He does deserve at least a couple of more transfer windows. But Solskjaer knows he's got the backing of Ed Woodward and he's also got the backing of the Glazers, and, Ed Woodward, of course, and that's going to back him in the summer transfer window. Don't forget, Ed Woodward did say the other month that we will remain competitive in the summer transfer market, but he did say we won't do business as usual. So he actually ruled out big transfers to Man United. Don't forget, the coronavirus pandemic cost us around 28 million. Our net debt is just over 429 million because the other month our debt had risen up by almost 130 million pounds and all of that. So there's a lot of uncertainty for the summer transfer window. But yeah, I've been getting glimpses recently of the days under the Alex Ferguson era. Because like I said to you, we haven't dominated English football since the Ferguson era. Of course, Alex Ferguson endured 26 years at Manchester United. Or was it 27? But either way, he endured 22, 23 successful years because, Ferguson didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. Ferguson did win a total of 38 major honours at the football club, including 13 Premier League titles. And I think we can get back to the way we was under Ferguson, but I just don't see any manager, at Manchester United or in general, replicating Ferguson's legacy, and I don't see them lasting as long as Alex Ferguson did. But, probably Solskjaer, could be the foreseeable future for Manchester United. Time will tell. Don't forget earlier on in the season, Solskjaer was very, very close to getting sacked. And obviously, at that point, there was talks of Mauricio Pochettino coming in. There was also talks of Massimiliano Allegri coming in and all of that. Earlier on in the season, we'd endured our worst start to a Premier League season for 30 years. And I thought at one point Solskjaer was going to get sacked, but I've already given you the main explanations why Solskjaer didn't get sacked from Manchester United, because the signing of Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes has made the difference in the team. He really, really has. I think Pogba and Rashford, returning, also has helped us. Obviously, they returned when the season resumed, which is very, very good. I think they've both done very, very well of Pogba and Rashford. Like I said, our record against the big six sides this season's been very, very good. We've taken 18 points against the big six sides this season. I think with Solskjaer being a club legend, that could also play a part in it as well. Because Solskjaer was a great player for the football club for 11 years. He flourished under Alex Ferguson's guidance. Of course, one of his most iconic moments as a player was 1999 when he won as the treble. And that's definitely the club's greatest achievement in that. Definitely the club's greatest achievement. I've also got to credit Solskjaer because, he has given more or less everybody their chances at Manchester United, because he did say when he got appointed in that everybody would get their chances to express themselves, including the young players. And, the young players have been given their opportunities this season. And Solskjaer has promoted the youth very, very well. So this is something else I've got to credit Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for. This is something else, I've got to credit him for. But yeah, Solskjaer has just got under 2 years left on his Manchester United contract, because when he got the job permanently in March last year, he signed a 3-year contract and all of that. But the good news is, Solskjaer has gained that managerial experience now. Reflects on how long he's been with us. Man United is the third club in his managerial career, because before he came to us, he was at Molde. I thought he did very, very well at Molde, won quite a few Norwegian titles with them. Also, too, before he was at Molde, he was at Cardiff. He began his managerial career at Cardiff. He was very, very bad at Cardiff. He only enjoyed the short tenure with them. I think he only managed 29 games for Cardiff, but the main explanation why he got sacked from Cardiff is because he did get Cardiff relegated. And don't forget, earlier on this season, we was facing a relegation battle. We really, really was. But Solskjaer, like I've said to you before, he's our 4th permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era. Like I said, 3 managers have been sacked since the Ferguson era, and that was David Moyes. He enjoyed 9 months at the club, or was it 8 months at the club? But he's enjoyed the shortest tenure at Man United. He's in what? I don't know. He enjoyed the shortest tenure at Man United, did Moyes. Moyes should never been recommended in, but obviously, it was Ferguson that was at the fault for. I ever recommended him in, but the main explanation Ferguson recommended him in is because they was both Scottish. Van Gaal, he got sacked. He enjoyed 2 years at the club. And Jose Mourinho, he got sacked. He enjoyed 2.5 years at Manchester United. In the last 7 years, we've recruited over 30-odd players in since the Alex Ferguson era. And a lot of the players we have brought in haven't been the right calibre players for Man United. But there again, on the other hand, there's players that we've brought in who have done really, really well. And of course, we have got rid of them. Like I said, under Moyes, we brought Fellaini and Juan Mata in. Juan Mata is actually still at the football club. But Fellaini's not here. Fellaini left in January 2019. He was the first player to leave under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Van Gaal, he must have bought around 15, 16 players. Louis Van Gaal, he brought the likes of Schneiderlin in, Sebastian Schweinsteiger, Angel Di Maria, Falcao, Daley Blind, Rojo, Darmian, Romero, Martial, Shaw, Herrera. Van Gaal brought a lot of players in. There's still some players here for the Van Gaal era, but the vast majority of the players that Van Gaal brought in have now left the club. Jose Mourinho, he recommended 11 players in to Manchester United. And actually, the vast majority of these players are Mourinho, so let's put into the equation, Solskjaer is inheriting, the vast majority of them. So there you go. But we've only won 3 trophies since Ferguson's retirement, and that was the FA Cup under Van Gaal and the Europa League and the League Cup under Jose Mourinho and that. Under Jose Mourinho. But I think now Solskjaer knows what he's doing. I think he thinks now he's got it right. He's made a tactical change and it seems to have worked. Solskjaer's decision making's really, really improved as well because he made a lot of bad decisions early on in the season because he didn't really have a plan A or plan B. I think, like I said, he knows his best 11 now. I think he also knows his best formation. But, we do look a much better team now. Since Fernandes has come in, he's made a difference in the team. He really, really has. But I want us to make the signings in the summer transfer window because, we must make signings. We have got a pretty good, decent squad. We really, really have. But it's a top 4 squad that, it's not good enough to win the league or challenge for the league. And this is, why we do need a few more signings. We have spent close to the £1 billion range in the last 7 years. We really, really have. And, people say reflect on the money that's been spent at the club. We should be, where Liverpool are, or minimum where Manchester City are. But just proves always spending big on players does not always guarantee you success. So that's one thing I just want to put into the equation. But yeah. So that's everything to update today, guys. Anyway, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And take care. God bless. And I'll see you all again very, very soon.